Hi everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm still struggling to figure out what day of the week it is. I don't quite know what's going on there. I need to have a big sign or something that shines on the ceiling every morning. I don't know. I'd probably forget by the time I got up and really moving. But anyway, it is Tuesday. It is the last day of February, which also means it's the last day of celebration, and I'm sad, and I bet you're sad. So today's class to go, I'm going to feature some of the designer series paper that is available with Celebration, and a stamp set that's actually in the annual catalog, but I'm going to show you how you could substitute other stamp sets with these designs, and change out your options. I picked this particular stamp set because of the greetings that it has with it, and yeah, there's a curly haired little girl on there too. But the greetings in the By My Side stamp set are amazing. But my friend Michelle Litwiller has also showed these designs with the Adorable Owls, which is a celebration stamp set, and I think it's called This Little Piggy. Anyway, I'm going to grab those two stamp sets as well in a second and show you how you can swap them out as we go along. We are coloring today, but this is really not about the coloring. This is about how you can take three simple designs and mix them up with different stamp sets and even have a stack on hand. I know I need some encouragement, some support, some thinking of you cards right now, and I love that I could mix this up with different papers, different stamps, and or the same stamps, but just different papers. Anyway, the options are truly endless, and I love that. I love all the coordination that goes along, and I hope that you all do too. So hello Joyce, hello Mary Ellen, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to switch the camera and show you what we're working with. Okay, so now I thought this looked a little wonky earlier, but anyway, okay, so we are working with the By My Side stamp. Now this is in the annual catalog, and I have that even open to that page. So it is on page 52 of the big catalog, the annual catalog. So this catalog goes through the end of April. This is a red rubber or a cling stamp set. You can see some of the samples here, and I love that they've taken kind of the basic same card design really, and just added elements that that just change it up, but they show you all the options. You know, you've got something that's really simple and beautiful. You can add a little more to it, add a little more color, and you know, still keeping your same basic card, but just adding different pieces, layering on, if you will, and changing the look of your card. And so anyway, I love this. I love that this thinking of you today. Here for you, you did it. Hi, sweet friend. Life is better with friends like you, and thank you for being part of my life. So I just really love the greetings. I love this kind of handwritten font that they've used. And so anyway, that's what we're working with today. And let me show you my cards, because when I posted the what's it called? The announcement that there was going to be a video today, I did not show you samples of the cards, but here is one, this Nice to Have You By My Side. Okay, isn't he cute? And then here's another, Here for You. And then here is Hi, Sweet Friend. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so this is the celebration brochure. Some of these things have sold out. It may have changed by the time we're watching this today or later today. But this is the Dandy Designs Designer Series paper. It is full of color, Balmy Blue, Calypso Coral, Fresh Freesia, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, and Petal Pink. So those are the colors and the patterns, and just adorable. This is a selection that can be free with a $100 purchase. All right. Let's see what else I wanted to point out. the Adorable Owls is a stamp set here on the page 4 of the brochure that you could substitute in these cards and swap up the look, the message entirely. And then I wanted to also show you the small little mini machine, because guys, the best value for you is always the starter kit, where you get to select your products, your starter kit. You pick the products that you want, and then you get that at a greatly discounted rate. And you can be a discount shopper from then on for as long as you want. So right now you have 3 options for that starter kit, and they're phenomenal. But today's the very last day for it. Option 1, you'll select $175 in products and add on this machine. So for a total of $129, you're going to get $175 of products of your choice plus the machine. So you're well over $250 in value at that point. This is a $63 machine. You're basically getting it for $30. You can choose it in blue or white. Or if you don't want this machine, you don't need this machine, you can still select $175 in product and select your pay $99 for your starter kit. There's no shipping charge on the starter kit. So please, if you have any questions, don't assume, because I did for a long time. I thought that, oh no, that must mean this, or it must mean this, and it doesn't. But ask your questions. I would be more than happy to answer your questions, and would love to have you join our team as a discount shopper, for as long as you want to be. In February, earlier this month, we added some additional products from the catalog and made them options as celebration choices. We looked last week at the Enjoy the Journey Designer Series paper. I hope that you've grabbed those. But the clouds, there's some great values here. This Eden's Garden bundle, it's free as a $100 item. So don't wait. Things may sell out today. And today is the very last day to get your order in. Okay, so I'm just going to grab those other 2 stamp sets really quickly and show you what I mean. Where are you, little piggy? There he is. I just realized I did not put my AirPods in. I hope the sound is okay. You guys let me know. Although as I look around, I don't see them on this messy desk. So, all right. So, what else could you use in place of these stamps? We're just going to stamp a couple, and I'm going to show you as we go along, because I think otherwise it's going to get too complicated. So, let's start. I'm trying to figure out which one I have over there. I have this one here first. This sweet little blonde girl, and I copied from the catalog that they colored around her glasses this way. I think they just jump out so much more like that. I colored in blends, but you could certainly color this with watercolor pencils or even your watercolor painters. Okay, so I am working with this Granny Apple Green Coastal Cabana Balmy Blue combination. Your kit may not be the same color combination. You may receive the Coastal Cabana version. No, Calypso Coral. I don't know why. Those are 2 very different colors, but the names are similar enough that they just trip me up. So this is Calypso Coral, Highland Heather, and Mango Melody with the Designer Series paper. So many patterns in here that yours may look different than mine, but you can see you've got 2 card bases, 2 card liners for the inside, then your layers, your circles are already cut, die cut, and even embossed for you. All right, so card number 1 is this little girl, and we're going to stamp on this, and we're going to stamp on this. I'm trying to keep this in the camera without getting my head in the camera. All right, I'm going to stamp her in Memento Black. And I have a confession. I'm meeting some friends for lunch today. And I thought about coloring today with watercolor pencils, doing something a little that I don't normally do. And I opted not to do that because my friends are going to be at the restaurant and I didn't want to take too long in the video or keep them waiting too long either. All right, so this first time I stamped Here For You, and I think this time I'm going to stamp You Did It. Of course, I do need to get the stamp out of here. And it's just this little stamp. Oh, you know what? Actually, I may want something a little bit longer than that because I don't want it to be too short. I do want it to extend. So how about Thinking of You Today? And I need, so I've already got my little 1/2" piece of white. And when I look at my stamp, plain stamps are a little different because I can't see through to see where I'm stamping. So I take a look at the back of this to see where the stamp is actually placed on the entire piece of red rubber, and I can tell that it's lower on the red rubber. So as I'm positioning this, I want to keep in mind that that when I stamp this down, the image is going to be towards the bottom of the red rubber and not towards the top, and maybe not necessarily centered either. The label could have it anywhere. And this label is definitely not on entirely straight. So the label can be deceptive, so keep that in mind. And what I do most often is stamp my grid paper, and I'll use the edge of the red rubber stamp to give me an idea. And I can see that the bottom of my label is just about at the line here. So how about that? The bottom of my label is this white line here, but you can see that the majority of the sentiment stamped below. So this label is very much off. And I want to turn this way because I'm going to angle it out there. And remembering so that is not entirely straight, and it's probably enough that it bothers me, so it would probably bother other people too. So I'm going to grab another strip. When you cut your layers, you end up with lots of these little 1/2" strips, and I save them one and all. All right, let's see if I can get this a little bit better. My disclaimer is that it's okay, that's a little more straight. However, it's not where I wanted it. My disclaimer is that when I'm stamping without you here, my head is pretty much directly over this guy. And I just need to remember that the stamp is lower, so I need to go. This is going to be the one. Oh, yep, I'm totally fine with that. If it looks, doesn't look up to snuff to you, well, sorry. Okay, somewhere on this desk is my stamp cleaner. Okay, it's under the 3 stamp sets. I am using the grid paper. I've talked a lot about this. This is actually still on clearance, and it is the In Color grid paper. These are retired colors, but the contrast between it and white is very helpful for me. So I'm just going to cut that about like that. Set that aside. And we're going to color this little girl real fast. Well, actually, before we color her, I'm actually going to grab another stamp. And, oh, I haven't even labeled these yet. Okay, so this is a good thing to see. This is how your red rubber stamps appear when you get them, your cling stamps. And you punch them out of this and add the labels. Now, some people choose not to add their labels, and you know, that's okay. Options, guys. That's what it's all about. Hold on just a sec. So I am going to, I can certainly, this will cling well enough without the label that I don't feel like I have to put the label on right now. I'm going to grab a circle that is the same size. I've put that on a D block, which is a little small for this. Let's put her back over there. Now, if you were going to use this stamp, and see, now I don't have the label to go on either, but I'm just going to see. If you're going to use this stamp, then you would cut the balloon out of another piece of scrap white and layer it on top. Let's see if I can. Does that make sense? So then you would fussy cut this out. I am so not about the coloring, huh? All right, I am coming really closer than I want to come to the stamped image. I really would prefer to leave a little more white space, but the paper slipped, and that's all I got. That little guy just does not want to turn loose. So it is a lovely day here in Middle Tennessee. In fact, I think my friends are out on the patio. So, all right, so that is how you would piece this together to go right here, right? And you might even, where'd my balloon go? Here's my balloon. You might put this together so that it's over here instead. You know, have it the way the pig is facing. And then add your little greeting here, right? So you can see how the pig would work, right? Okay, so that's this little piggy, and I don't want to lose this because I think I will use it in a bit. Let's look at one of the owls as well. I don't know why I have to keep losing my stamp cleaner. I'm just shuffling stamp cases over here. Don't mind me. All right, let's grab. Come on, open up. I want this little owl that is flying. And there he is. Color him and swap him out right there as well. So I don't know. I really wanted to highlight this sweet stamp set, but I also really wanted to show you that this is such a versatile way to make cards. So we may not do that for all three, but you can see now, I hope, what I was talking about. Get that block out of the way. All right, let's get her colored real fast. And I grabbed Daffodil Delight for her hair and Balmy Blue for the little bird. Granny Apple Green for her dress. And then the two light tone, natural tones light for her face. And let's see. I don't know why it is so hard for me to remember. I don't know that I truly think I've gotten the hang of, there's so many choices now for skin tones that I think that is a little challenging for me as much as having only one. Oops, let's do her little hand there too. So then we'll blend in with the other color. Now, if you were working with ink, an ink pad, you're probably using Petal Pink for her skin. If you are working with the watercolor pencils, well, we may just have to take a look at where they are in the catalog and see what all the options are for skin tones there. But, and this little bluebird, there's really not a lot of places for shading of him. So, having said that about the watercolor pencils, I truly don't know what the options are for skin tones there. Different colors for your animals for sure. And you know, you don't have to color these images at all. You can leave them black and white and let the color be from the cardstock and the designer series paper. And of course you could bring in a little bit of bling. The only thing that I've used here is linen thread, which is such an old friend. If they retired linen thread, boy, that one would be hard for me. I don't know. Do y'all start getting nervous about this time of year or when the new catalog is approaching? Because as demonstrators, we will get to see the new annual catalog the end of March. So just 1 month to wait. And I'll be sending catalogs to everyone who has ordered with me in the last 6 months. And if you need a catalog but haven't ordered yet, reach out to me so that I know that you want one. Of course, if you're a demonstrator, you're going to get one in the mail. Yes, linen thread would be a hard one. I can't believe I even threw that out there as a That truly is a nightmare. You know, the running 4 miles and doing the laundry. Yeah. Mopping the floors. Okay, mopping the floors might be a nightmare for me, but the rest of it not so much. Now, I took a little bit of smoky slate and just added something to ground her. So this is the light smoky slate. And I just did this, you know, just really rough. It doesn't look the same any 2 times. You can even take your color lifter and blend that out if you want it to be a little more subtle. That is all about preference. A lot of times I do smooth it out, but I did not for these. And I've got to clean up as I go because I have the biggest mess on my desk. Now, if you were on the Zoom last night, then you heard me say that we would no longer be having a Monday night Zoom. That I will do a Tuesday night live stream for my team to answer questions and training on anything that's happening within the company. But the Zoom that has been available, open to customers and demonstrators alike, anybody that wants to attend, is going to be discontinued. Last night was the last night. I never say never, but for right now, I'm not going to be holding it. Okay, so now I need to layer this little guy up. And I'm basically looking for the halfway points. I want this and these 3 pieces to be even. And in theory, if I do that, then the other edges will be even as well. My mom sent me her itinerary this morning. She is flying in to stay with Hardin when Greg and I go to Norway, which, oh my gosh, guys, is coming up fast. We actually will leave for London, hopefully fly overnight in May. It's just unbelievable that that's coming up so fast. And with it is the end of Hardin's freshman year. Now I placed her over here because she's looking this way. I don't know that that's a rule. You know, it's art. I don't know that there are rules in art. And you can turn your little embossed pieces whichever way appeals to you. I just placed my dimensionals kind of towards the inside so that I could slide these pieces under. And there's not any rhyme or reason to that too. I'm going to put a dimensional out here on the end, maybe 2, and find my linen thread and tie a bow. So what are y'all up to today? But I really encourage you to place your order earlier today rather than later, because if it gets busy towards the end, and it might, you know, anything can happen, and I may not be available, or support may not be available. You can place your order a lot later in the day than then Stampin' Up! Will have people there to help. So I've just mushed up a glue dot and put it there. And then I'm just going to put the edge there. And I might even want to slide another glue dot or a dot of glue under this edge. And then on the inside, so this is thinking of you today. Let's take a look at the greetings for inside. Put these away. So thinking of you today, you've got, I'm here for you. Life is better with friends like you. Thank you for being a part of my life. Nice to have you by my side. You might want to just put, here for you, if you think that's the one that goes with it most closely. So we could just put this, down. No, it doesn't have to be dead center. I think that when we put it dead center, it just seems to look lonely right there in the middle. So, but you could take a strip of the designer series paper. I have this tiny strip here that's left. So I could do this. So when you've got a small greeting and a lot of real estate, so to speak, what do you do to help balance it? I think this is one way. Oh, well, thank you for following glue side up. And, oh shoot, it's not as long as I thought it would be. Okay, so, gosh, all kinds of opportunities today, huh? So since it doesn't go end to end, I'll just scoot it over and leave approximately the same border. And, and you could even take another piece, just layer it up as much as you want. I thought I left the black ink out. Maybe I'm struggling to figure out that it's Tuesday because I'm thinking it's more like a Monday. So what do you think? In the middle? Down here? Over here? We don't really have any like flowers or anything that would take up space. You could certainly grab them from one of the other stamp sets. Honestly, guys, I think I'm just going to come right about here. And hopefully it's straight, or straight enough. All right, Joyce, I was thinking like you. Woo, channeled my Joyce, I think. And now, just going to add this. There's supposed to be people next door looking at the house. So I keep hearing noises and wondering if it's... Alright, so there you have it, card number 1. Now I'm not going to take the time with the other 2 cards to show you the options for the other stamp sets. You've got the idea, and you can certainly figure out what works for you from that. Okay. Put this little guy in. Now, the next one is this sweet little girl with curly hair. Figure out what I've done with my kit. I think this is it. Alright, so I've got a basic white base. And see, I saved this little piece for the inside if I want to use it as well. And where's my greeting? There we go. So the kit might look like, oh shoot, hold on. I've hidden it. So you might have Coastal Cabana and this print with your pieces. So just keep in mind that everything coordinates, which you know, and yours may look different. And I will send the kit for free with any order over $35 placed on my online store between now and Friday. Friday is Hattie's birthday. My daughter will be 26. Yeah, oh my gosh, she's 26 on Friday. Oh. She and the kids came to church with us on Sunday. That was fun. They were so good. All right, so now that is all ready. I'll grab a bone folder. Let's smooth that out. All right, burnish that edge. Now the stamping. I do want to show you how I colored this curly hair. Because, you know, the word is blend, right? And if you want to represent curls, you don't want to blend all of it. Okay, so I noticed that her feet are pretty close to the bottom edge. So as I'm placing this, I just want to be mindful. And I got her pretty close to the edge over there, but that's absolutely fine. And then I used Hi Sweet Friend on this one. And, you know, you could use a different label as well if you wanted to use one of the others. So I liked Hi Sweet Friend. I'm going to stamp it, and notice this time that the white space, if you will, is more on the bottom. Okay, you stay there. And I'm going to just test it out here. Okay, and it looks like the label is pretty accurate, which means that it's relatively centered. So, voila. If you need precision, use the Stamparatus. And you've seen me use that plenty of times, so I'm not too worried about not showing it today. All right, I colored her with, what did I use? In the purples, I used Highland Heather and Fresh Freesia, and then I pulled out, oops, that's not the right one. I pulled out the bronze, and I pulled out this dark, and I pulled out crumb cake. And then for her face, I did the same colors as the last time, and then Smoky Slate. Now, I'm actually going to start with her curls because this kind of has to layer. And I'm just going around the curls. Kind of following the lines that have been stamped. around her ear. Now this is not the darkest of the three colors that I pulled out. I know, at least I think I know. Okay. All right, I'll put the bronze away so that I know I've used it. And then let's do her face. And her hand and her little legs. Right. And then we'll bring the other color in. I think that there are 10 markers in this Natural Tones collection, and you buy them in sets of 2 for $9 so that you can blend skin tones however you want. And I didn't blend that the last time, and I wasn't as crazy about it. I'm going to blend that a little bit. Okay, so we did our hands. Put those back. And I did her skirt in Highland Heather. I did not grab the Calypso Coral yet. Just following along the artist lines mostly. And so these are alcohol. They're going to dry pretty quickly. And this, I've grabbed fresh freesia for the inside of the butterfly. And now let's go ahead and bring in the lighter color into her hair. Just kind of like acting like it's completely dry. I guess it's just the contrast. As the last piece, we'll come to add in some more dark color. And I need to grab Calypso Coral. And I just used the light Calypso Coral the last time. Just picking colors that coordinate with the Designer Series paper. So just picking colors out of it, and that's all I did for it. And then I'm going to come back in with the very dark and add some dark. Just like so. We've given her some curls. All right, now let's build this. Oh, we need to grab her some smoky slate at the bottom. So I've kind of grounded her. And we're just going to add dimensionals. So even though we're coloring, you can see that these go pretty quickly. So these easily could be designs that you could turn to get your mojo started if you ever get stuck like that. That's not, I know that can't just be me. So do you all have any questions about Stampin' Up, about Celebration ending that I can answer while you have me? Or you can certainly reach out later as well. All right, so that is card number 2. And then card number 3, guys, we're going to dedicate this today to Charlie. Charlie passed away. My friend Charlie passed away over the weekend. And I know he had a cat. I don't know if he had a dog as a little boy, but this just looks like Charlie to me. A little mischievous grin, and you know, we had a best friend there with him, and so anyway, this is for Charlie. And the kit may have Coastal Cabana in with it, but again, you're going to have the 2 bases, the 2 liners, the 2 layers of DSP, and then I've already cut this with the Whimsy die. All the other die cutting can be done with the mini machine, so it's a great machine to have. All right, I've got Calypso Coral, and I've got a layer for inside, and I have my Designer Series paper, which, oh, that is the right size because that's for inside, sorry. And then that for my greeting. I think that's all I need. All right, let's stamp this adorable little boy and his puppy. Actually kind of gave him sandy hair like a river. There for a second, and I put him pretty close to the center. Maybe brought him to the right a little bit, because I knew I was going to have that white space to add the greeting on the left. There he is, and then I need a little strip. Actually, I used one that was a little bit wider. Because I had the nice to have you by my side. I think I'm going to use thank you for being part of my life. When we found our church, just before COVID, I think, Charlie and Eben were familiar faces and welcoming hearts. I knew their daughter, Rachel, okay, so this one may be a little closer to the bottom. We'll see how we've done. Oh, that is a little crooked. Of course, I broke the cardinal rule, didn't I? I didn't stamp it on the grid paper first. So we'll do that this time. So just lining up the label according to the grid. That's not too bad. All right. See if I can do better this time. don't know, how you feeling? Well, that's okay. It's a little low. It's a good thing I got a big piece of grid paper, huh? Or a big strip of cardstock. All right, this is going to be the one. It might be a little crooked, but I think I'm okay with it. After all, this little boy and his puppy are up to some mischief, right? And actually, you know, I did that, and now I remember that in order to fit on that strip of DSP that I have, I needed to cut this down a little bit. And yep, I freehanded it, and I'm okay with that. And it'll fit just fine. We'll go ahead and flag one end because that punch is right here. And this is the Banner's Pick-a-Punch. Banner, I think that's correct. And we'll need a so let's see, how are we doing on time? Oh yikes, guys, we've gone long enough. I colored him with, I gave him smoky slate shorts, crumb cake hair, and I gave the dog bronze and one of the neutral dark colors. And I'm going to do this way. Kind of do it like that, and then I want to pick, I'm going to put the dimensionals on this part of the label, and then I'll put the label flat to the card. All right, have I shared everything? I think I have. I'll probably think of it after we dismiss, right? So that's that. So thank you for being part of my life. This we're going to layer here. Now guys, I feel like I'm going to turn you loose rather than have you watch me color this last one, because this is a long enough time to watch me color. You've got the idea of what I did and don't need me. I did put this on dimensionals to here, and then I did this flat to there. Right? So, and then if you just need the PDF, then that will be available as well. That part has been a little slower going than everything else that's happening. But there's card 1, or card 3, and card 2, and card 1. So guys, thanks so much for being here. Let's see. In the blog post, I'll talk about what's coming up in March, and then that calendar will go out just as quickly as I can get it put together. If I can help you place your order today so that you don't miss anything that Celebration has to offer, then don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you back next week for the next week's class to go. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.